Okay, we should be live now, I guess. What are you doing?
Texting.
How's that? All right, we should be live now.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but I'm talking about it's a different site. It's not the one that I set up. The people, that's a problem. Testing 1, 2, testing. Hello, everyone. This is me and Naomi at Fun Jam Japan. I'm not sure if anyone can hear me or not. I'm checking to see if that's pretty weird because I set it up and then all of a sudden when I try to go onto it, which I did right here. Yeah, that's it right there. Oh boy. I don't like how they did that. Okay, so, well, we're on live. Hello, everyone. This is me and Naomi live from Fun Jam Japan. And I want to first say I want to give my condolences to Abe for whatever happened yesterday. We decided to come on live because I was going to release a video last night or today, but I found it was kind of like not the right time. You know, Fun Jam Japan is always about doing happy and fun things, but I wanted to take time to share how we feel and explain how we feel here in Japan about what has gone on. So that's why I kind of canceled my release of my video. You want to say?
It's yeah, for Japanese, it's surprising, shocking news.
Mm.
And when I first saw the breaking news, no, you told me.
Yeah, I called.
You found the accident by.
Yeah. I got a message. I got a message from CB saying Abe was shot, and I'm thinking when I heard it, I'm thinking when are they talking about Honest Abe or something that happened with America? When I heard the word shot, I'm like, no one gets shot in Japan. So as soon as I clicked on the social media and I seen that Abe was shot, I'm like, well, what's going on here? And it was just a shock,
I thought it was just a prank.
Yeah, because let me explain something. Here in Japan, it's one of the safest countries you could have. It's a very safe country. You don't hear about you hear violence, but not in that magnitude. You don't never hear about someone shooting someone. And if so, it would be, Japanese mafia or yakuza, you know.
Mm.
And even that, it's very rare. So let me point that out. That it was a shock to all of us, But with that being said, I want to say that it only takes one. Right now that has happened in Japan, it only takes one person, one stupid person, to change the whole image and how people project about what's happening here in Japan. So I wanted to take this time to you know share with you guys, like, if you guys have any questions about what's going on with Japanese people here and how people are taking this. And if you can send us a comment and let us know how you guys feel free to send us a comment. That's what we're here for, to try to get you guys updated to what's going on or what's happening or what's going to happen. Tomorrow is election time, and here in Japan, and that's still going to happen. That's not been postponed, but the what do you call those people that go around in the van? What do you call them?
Supporter.
No, but the different people.
Candidate.
Yeah, the different candidates. Yesterday, they all canceled. Usually you will hear vans driving around with big loud speakers, saying,
especially today, right? One day
Yeah,
before
yeah.
the election thing, and it should be loud everywhere. But even the government said that they'll do the going around and making a speech thing. It was quieter than normal.
Yeah, because I didn't hear any today or yesterday.
Really, I saw one van today.
Yeah, I didn't. I've been out riding around. I didn't hear not one person, and especially in my area too, by the school.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't see none of that. So,
but I want to say that what was doing the, I mean the what was it, the Secret Service? Secret Service.
Yeah.
What were they doing? I'm like,
yeah. Let's talk about that. But Secret Service in America are trained to jump in front of a bullet. They're trained to, be the shield in front of different people. They're trained for that. But if you look at the video, if you look at the picture, you look at the slow motion, they were ducking. When they heard the gunshot, you see them going like that.
Of course, they duck after hear the loud sound, but
well, that was the first thing. They were ducking.
I know.
Second thing was
they should have a suspicious, like,
no.
The guy is coming.
If you've seen the picture that I posted at the beginning of the stream, you see that the gunman was standing there, and Secret Service all had their back to him. There was not one person looking at him at all. They all were watching Abe, which was the shocking part about that situation. Again, it's a trust scenario here. Here in Japan, we have this kind of trust thing that goes on. So, everyone questions why was Abe in the middle of the street and why. But again, you got to understand the location. It was in Nara, and Nara is it's a suburban city, not as an old city. Meaning, Nara is kind of the old Tokyo. Am I right? Nara. It was the first, before Tokyo began. That was the center of Japan. Was Nara.
Wasn't it Kyoto?
Huh?
That was Kyoto.
No, it was Nara during the
Kyoto.
The what period? Nani period? I don't know.
Yeah, Nara was kind of
So
central before long time ago.
Yeah. Let's see. Blue Velvet said, super weird. That's even with a very strict gun control in Japan, this still happened. Do you think buying fireworks will be banned now? Suspects must have no. No.
Fireworks is fine.
Fireworks, you can get them at any convenience store, any store. Again, we say people can't get a hold of guns, and this guy was one of those crazy extremists. Let me tell you a kind of little bit. I don't know him personally, but from what I've heard, he was in the military, and we don't know why he got out of the military. I think because of mental. I
No,
mean,
no, 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 no. No. He joined the military only for
training.
training for only for 3 years.
Yeah.
That's it. After
So
3 years, he gotta get out.
yeah. So basically, he was in the military, and then he became one of those extreme cult believers. This situation was kind of a religious thing. That's what they chalked it up as why he got shot. Abe was not the direct target. His religious group or religious background was the direct target, and not Abe. It's just that.
I heard that he couldn't reach to the top
Yeah.
guy.
So again.
But I just heard.
Yeah. But yeah, as for fireworks, no, fireworks is not an issue here in Japan. Fireworks, again, we can buy them. They're still selling them, so that's not a big issue. And toy guns is not an issue here. We have guns that look real. Well, they look real, like the replicas, and those are not the problem either.
I was at the Don Quixote today, and next to the radio control section, they had a toy guns.
Yeah.
But it looks real.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Those pellet guns. So yeah, a lot of the pellet guns, look real. So it says, like the gunpowder from the fireworks could be used for a building event. True, but gunpowder and the contents that is used to make a bullet, the powder that's in a bullet and the powder that's in fireworks is totally different type of sulfur. It's a totally different chemical. So the gunpowder bullets are pellets, and they're a little bit more explosive than the fireworks powder. So no, it could be done, but not as a projectile. No.
This is a problem. People can access to the site to get gunpowders.
Oh yeah, of course.
The device for
of course
building the guns. So
yeah, because again, Japan has very strict laws, strict gun laws. But if you really wanted to kill someone here, they don't have to use a gun. Most of the time, if there was a death here in Japan, it's usually by knife. It's usually a knife. It's a stabbing.
Knife is dangerous too.
Yeah, but I'm saying
we have to use knife for cutting something.
No, but what I'm saying is that most of the deaths here that you would hear in Japan are stabbings. It's a stabbing. Majority of the deaths you hear in Japan is stabbings. It's not fireworks. Then the second most is blunt objects, meaning hit with a hammer or some type of blunt object like a golf club or a bat. That's the second most. But guns, being killed by a gun in Japan is like way at the bottom. So yeah, it's going to change the whole image of security today now that this has happened. So that's what we're waiting to see right now. Let's see, it says, you know what's so weird? The news here in US ever since yesterday still isn't really broadcasting the news about Abe. Yeah, well, here in Japan, every news channel is showing it all day. Everyone's talking about it.
Repeating.
Yeah. And
that makes sense.
Yeah. And again, it's because we're shocked. We're shocked. Now, let me be honest about this. You might hit me for this, but Abe was not my biggest fan. I was not a big Abe fan. But I respected him. He's what you would call Japanese old school. So um, he was very stubborn, but very honorable. He stuck to his guns. He believed in, the whole trying to bring the Japanese economy back to the way the 80s, the way it used to be. Yeah, a lot of people were angry about him. A lot of people, were kind of frustrated with him, even me, but I never hated him. Never hated him. I respected him. And that's how I would go with the Abe. So it was a big shock.
Hawaii.
Yeah. In Hawaii, he was also, yeah, yeah.
All over the
Yeah.
country.
Um, I didn't like the meteor, how the meteor, reflected on Abe. It was really gross how they show Abe laying there, and
They show everything.
they showed everything. They
should
showed everything.
blur it.
They showed where his neck was opened up.
Is it?
Yeah, but that one got blocked now.
Oh.
They showed like the actual neck opened
then
up.
Then it's not media. Then.
Well, of course,
Actual media.
the social media.
Social media.
Yeah,
I'm talking
So-
about TV.
but again, it goes on social media, and then the TV news buys those social media
Social
recordings.
media is faster than the broadcast now.
Yeah, so it was like, we've seen so much that it was just like, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So it was like we see a lot of people had their phones out and
I
cameras
have a
out.
question. If those things happen in the States and broadcast people go to like a victim's house
Mhm.
and broadcasting in front of their house?
Yeah,
Oh, they do? Okay.
yeah. America's good for that.
Oh.
America's good for
But
that.
it's
Japan,
they shouldn't
no.
do that,
Japan, no.
No, we do. Japanese people do. But I feel sorry for his family.
Oh yeah. I feel bad for the wife. Abe had no children. Abe didn't have children, but
He doesn't.
no, he didn't. He didn't have children.
Really?
No, Abe had no children.
Really?
Yes. Wow, I know more about Abe than you do.
Google it.
Google it. Abe had no kids. Okay. Yeah, it was him and his wife and the cat. So yeah. Let's see. Only did like 10 minutes of Abe. Yeah. And here it says Bonzel Mark. I was at the gym for 3 hours yesterday, and the whole time I was there when reading. Yeah. And then this one was killed in. Oh yeah. As I said, it was done in Nara, and the city of Nara is kind of a countryside. It's an old city, very traditional city. So even when it happened, people was watching it was kind of like baffled too. It's like because I understand Japanese and I can hear Japanese, you can hear the background. The people were like, "Is this real?" Even the Japanese people watched it were like blown. They were just like shocked that this was actually really happening. Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Without being very negative. Yeah, I seen the tweets that China did. A lot of people were saying bad things. A lot of Chinese were happy about it, and I
Really?
yeah. The tweet. One person said, "Who should I pay for this? I'm so glad." But Abe, it was disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting. As I said before, I don't promote death, and when someone dies, in my feelings, regardless of good or bad, I don't praise it. I don't like to praise it. Now, Abe wasn't a tyrant. He wasn't a villain. He was a human being, and for people to to say things like that, I'm against it. I feel really bad about that. So. As I mentioned to you before, Abe wasn't not my biggest fan, but I respect him. And people today have to learn to respect other people, regardless if you like them or not. I feel strongly that was really wrong. It was all in the on Twitter. It was a couple of people.
SNS.
Yeah.
They can talk about anything.
Yeah. So here in Japan, a lot of people are talking about it, and a lot of Japanese feel that their image is tarnished. I was seeing my best friend, the dentist, and we were talking about today. We was talking about today. He said, "Yeah, he don't know what's going to happen." He said maybe in the future, it's going to be so bad that he's going to have to put metal detectors in front of his dental place. You know, Japan. You got to understand the thing about Japan is that when little things like this happen, Japan gets what so extreme, so extreme, meaning that remember the death of the elementary kid or the stabbing elementary kid. And then what they did is all the elementary schools have to lock their gates. Remember that?
Yeah, but that's good for them.
But remember, the gate should be. But that's why he did it. He said because the gate was open, and then because of that, they locked all the gates. Okay, so little extreme things happen in Japan, and Japan do extreme measures. We have a zero tolerance for alcohol, meaning you can't even like look at alcohol and you get in trouble. So, and that was because of an incident that happened 6 years ago. No, that was 12 years ago.
About what?
The crash in Fukuoka, the guy crashed and knocked the car.
Drink again,
Yeah. So now, Japan has a zero tolerance for alcohol. It was a city worker and he crashed into the car and the car went over into the river and everything. So now, but Japan's really, strict about situations like that. So yeah, I'm waiting to hear what's going to happen after, this happens. Funeral for Abe is going to be Monday, right? Monday will be Abe's funeral. So
funeral is Tuesday.
Tuesday, okay. And it says, I agree. Do you think singers for live performance will be more hesitant? Unresponsive. Yeah, but actors and musicians, celebrities are here in Japan.
At the funeral?
No, he's talking about. He said that. Do you think that performers will be like kind of more hesitant to coming to Japan or performing because of the situation? No.
Hire more.
As I said, no, they don't. I'm pretty sure they're not going to hire the Secret Service.
No, I mean they're going to bring their own.
Yeah, they're going to kind of thicken up the security. I'm pretty sure they will actually do more of that. Japan's risk advised, yeah, I think so. The risk, well, right now, a lot of Japanese now are still trying to absorb what happened. A lot of Japanese are. So
I still cannot understand.
Yeah. Has a motive yes, a motive has been sort of established. Let me explain something about the Japanese interrogation. This guy, what they would do first is they'll put him in a 6x8 room, which is an interrogating room with a chair and a table, and they'll have maybe 2 or 3 Japanese guys there, almost like the way the police do it. But what they try to do is they want to kind of gain his trust, and they want to talk to him, and they're going to talk to him and talk to him and talk to him, and they'll alternate, and they'll do this for about 6 or 7 hours, and to get him to admit his guilt. Then once he admits his guilt, then they'll put him in a cell. Once they put him in this cell, which is about a 5x6 cell, they'll actually have a police officer sit there directly in front of him with a clipboard, and the police officer has to write something about what he's done for every 15 minutes. They'll actually write constantly. They'll be looking at him, and they'll switch police officer, but they'll watch him, not just for suicide, but just basically they want to wear him out. They want him not to fall asleep. They're going to do this to him just in case he wants to admit some more stuff. Then they have what's called the walkout, which hasn't happened yet, meaning he has to leave from the police jail to the holding, and that's where all the Japanese police are going. Japanese photographers are going to be all there waiting for the car to go to the site.
No, no one talk about where he went.
Exactly. Well, because
But the media showed Nara police station.
yeah, but they're waiting for him to
Uh-huh.
leave that police station to go to. So that's what they're waiting for. Then once he's there, he'll go to a prison and wait for, you know, his sentencing. What will happen to him? I speculate he'll get the death sentence most likely. Japan's not really big on the death sentence. They don't like promote it as much as other places, but I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. It's going to be a close slam dunk case on that. Yeah, well, even if it's a false confession, they already raided his house. They raided his house and they found explosives and another another weapon, right? So they raided his house yesterday and they found explosives and weapons because he was trying to blow up. First, he was going to use a bomb, but he couldn't get the target that he wanted, so he went directly after the person. So as you can see, this was a crazy extremist. Do they hang or lethal injection over in Japan? Japan doesn't do lethal injection. They do hanging. They do hanging, and it's not a public hanging. And yeah, it's not a public hanging. They do hanging, so they don't promote it. They kind of quietly just say he's gone, and that's it. So they don't do that here in Japan. Matter of fact, it's the big prison we have is all the way across the other side of the ocean. Yeah. So yeah, we won't hear anything about it. We will hear after it's done. They will like say on the news, blah blah blah, that the killer of Abe, he's gone. You know, that kind of thing. So there won't be no promoting of it. He'll be tried in treason at this point. Yeah, it'll be. Richard, thank you for answering questions. Sorry for hogging. No, please. That's what we're here for. You know, we're trying to sit here. As I said, you know, I want to mention again, I want to release a video. I want to release a fun video, and I want to release another video of the kids playing, but I just didn't feel right. It's like my channel is all about happy moments, and if you notice in all of our videos that we've been doing with me and Naomi, you never seen us have like real fights. We do fight, but we don't try to show that kind of content on Fun Jam Japan because our channel is about doing stuff fun and the happiest moments in Japan or happy things that happen in Japan or what we do that's fun in Japan with me and her and our children. So it's hard for me to sell that story, what just happened with Abe. So that's why I postponed releasing my content recently. And CB says there you are 5 locations where they were officially hanging. There are, yeah, that's true. There are 5 locations. Yep, there is. Hello, just got here. Who was the guy that got shot? He was a prime minister. Let me say something about Abe, who Abe was. Abe's father was
prime minister.
Yeah, Abe's father was prime minister first, and so he's been into politics for decades. And then Abe became a prime minister, but then Abe quit. Remember, he quit
because of his health problem.
Yeah, so he quit, and then he came back and became prime minister again. And
at the time that the prime minister was changing like
every
year.
Yeah, no, it wasn't every year. It was less than every year. It was like 6 or 7 months. It was like they was going through a prime minister change every 7 months. You would get a new prime minister, new prime minister, new prime minister. So yeah, Abe was one of them, but he was still in the mix. So even though Abe kind of stepped down, you still heard a lot about Abe. You still heard a lot about it. He was still around. His words had a lot of weight. When you hear about Abe being somewhere, his words carry a lot of weight, and a lot of people follow him. So, yeah, he was a very heavy, strong official influence in Japan. Very, 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 very strong influence in Japan. So that's who he was. Yeah. Now the question is, happy belated birthday. Oh, someone said happy belated birthday to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, happy belated birthday. And let's see, Glenn said he was a former prime minister. Yeah, Abe was a former prime minister twice, meaning he was prime minister once, and then after he bowed out, and then he became a prime minister again. So yeah, so he's been around for a while. He's been involved with the government for about 30-40 years. So yeah, he's a former prime. Yes. And Glenn asked, is he still active behind? Yeah, he was. The current prime minister that is prime minister now, Abe was his controller. Meaning, I'm sorry to say this, but what's the prime minister's name? What's his name? Huh?
Kishida-san.
Yeah, Kishida-san was Abe's puppet. So it pretty much everything Abe kind of said, Kishida-san did. So that's a big thing with the whole group. Let's see. He was the longest. Yeah, he was. He was one of the longest. He was the longest running prime minister.
Plus, he was young,
Yeah, he was. Now again, and he's been through a lot. He's been through he's been through the whole pandemic.
CB said he was the second longest.
Well, he's the second longest? Okay. Yeah. He's been through the whole pandemic. He's been through when Japan has gone, the bubble has busted. So yeah, he's been through all of it. He's been through all of it. So yeah, as I said, he carries weight. And here in Japan, it's all about what we call the senpais. And Abe was one of the biggest senpais. Senpai means older, mature leader, So that's what Abe was here in Japan to a lot of government officials. Let's see. Koizumi. Yeah. Koizumi was the longest, and I liked him.
Was he?
Yeah, he was. Koizumi was the one that looked like Beethoven with the long hair.
I thought he looks like a lion.
Yeah, some people call him that too. Yeah. So if anyone else has any questions about about Japan and where we are, please send us a comment. That's what we're taking this time to do. We wanted to sit here and talk about this situation. Again, as some people just jumped online, and we want to say that most of the Japanese here are just kind of shocked. We're still in the shocking phase. So that's how we're trying to deal with this. I've seen YouTube interviews of random people in Japan street and not a lot knowing about the politic aspects of the older folks and comparing with the USA. Is it true? Yeah. The younger generation does not get into the whole political drama with what happens in Japan. You don't find a lot of young political people or people to get into that. CB said the 80s was when a lot of the prime ministers of Japan has changed. Yeah, true. And Bilad said, is the prime minister usually very respected by people in Japan? Yes, they are. And is the position similar to the US president where, no, it's similar to kind of the British, the parliaments. It's it's like a group, it's two groups. And basically you have one group that they'll elect to say, well, this is going to be our prime minister that will speak for our group, our leader of our group. So it's kind of like the British way, where again, America has what's 4 years, but Japan doesn't. Japan has a group, and if the group wins, they can say, okay, we want him to be the prime minister, you're the leader. And if they don't like him, Japan can be angry, say, we don't like him, and vote him out real quick. And they have to vote someone in. So it's totally different. Both countries are, yeah, I would say so. I would say so. Yeah. So what's this one? Yeah, CB said, yeah, Koizumi was the longest. Yeah, Koizumi was the longest. Yeah.
His junior is in the party.
Yeah, I heard about that. Koizumi's son is now in the political party. Yeah. And you do have women. There was one strong woman that was in the political party that she was starting to head straight up, and then all of a sudden she got booted out. Remember? I forget. She was a really strong verbal. I liked her, and then all of a sudden I don't see her anymore. I forgot.
She's in the other party.
Yeah, but now you don't hear anything about her no more. Yeah, she was like really, really strong. I used to like her, but yeah, it's all changed now. So again,
So shocking.
Yeah, we're still shocked. Will this disrupt any near future tour? No. It won't disrupt the tourism here in Japan. I don't think so.
I think so.
I don't think so.
Because the people who is coming to Japan, I think Japan doesn't have there's no gun around the city.
Well, there
it's
is
safe.
And it is. But the catch, it's like, okay, you got to look at, okay, this is one way to look at it. You have America, and you hear cases like this in America, like 23,000 cases like this in America. Do the numbers if you want to check. In America is at least about 23,000 cases. Japan, one.
One tonight.
One. There was one case. This is the first. Yeah, one case. So if you want to check it. I check my numbers. I already checked. So it's only one case. So it's a big difference. Big difference. But as I said, I started off this conversation by saying it only takes one. It only takes one. So yeah. Is Japan's border open right now? Yeah, Japan's border's open. They haven't closed their border. Again, this is internal. This is not an external affair that happened. This is a local crazy guy that's been following a cult group and did this. So it's not like, someone paid this man or whatever. Let's see. Yes, even in the news here in the U.S. said Japan's only had one case. See? One case. Yeah, one case. One case. No, that doesn't include, Japanese wives. So it's like, okay. Japan has had 23 to 25 incidents recent, average in less than a year. Well, the incidents, okay, let me explain something. As what I mean by the 23,000 cases, meaning that for shooting or attempted murder of assassination, okay, only one. This is the first case of any assassination attempt in Japan in over decades. So that's where I'm coming from. We have a lot of homicides. There's we get a lot of different homicides for a lot of different situations. So yeah, I'm not disclosing that there is no deaths or anything happen in Japan. Yeah, it happens. As I said before, the number one homicide in Japan is stabbings, and then the second most homicide is blunt objects. For example, the old lady that the game Gate Ball, which is played with a special club, and the other guy hit her ball. He got mad and she whacked him over the head, and the old man died.
Really?
Yeah, look it up. I was shocked. and that's a homicide case. You know, she didn't expect him to die, but she got angry and whacked him over the head. So blunt objects.
Well, you know, and I don't.
I kind of sometimes looked at stuff up. Japan has a multi-party system, which is Democrat, um, conservatives, and communist. The Green Party. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And yeah, homicides are not. You know, it's again, we don't have a lot when we hear about homicides. They kind of we heard that such and such was killed a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago. Remember that guy that killed the girl and had her locked in the place, and she was missing for a year. And he had her handcuffed and didn't feed her for 2 years. We hear that kind of homicide, you know, crazy man homicide. So you don't hear like first degree murders like rage and homicides a lot here in Japan. People will still come. Yeah, yeah. Again, Japan is a safe country. I'm able to have my 2 children, my youngest and my son, go outside and play by themselves, and that's a blessing. I remember when I could do that when I was a child back at home in America, and we don't have that in America. But you know, that's one of the things that I love about Japan is that, you know, how safe it is. You know, I can leave my car unlocked or leave stuff in my car, food or whatever, you know, no one will bother it. So
but you gotta be careful. Japan changed.
Well, yeah, I'm not okay. Don't get me wrong. Don't say it. You know, I'm not saying that. You know, it does not happen. Like it never happens. But it's just minute. You know, so if you live in like, for example, countryside or whatever, you'll find that the ratio is even more, you know, likely not to happen. So places like Tokyo and Osaka, I'm pretty sure you'll hear more stories. You'll hear more stories about stuff like this, but the further you go to countryside, the less you will hear about situations like this. So yeah, it's true. The location that this has happened in Nara is not far from Osaka. So it's a location of a side city from Osaka that this has happened. But the guy is from Osaka, right? The guy that did this, the killer.
From Nara.
He's from Nara.
Oh.
Okay. I thought he was like, because yeah, they raided his house. Was it Nara?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, he was an extremist, definitely an extremist. So Glenn Smith said, I left the bike outside my apartment in Japan for 6 months, and while I was out in the sea, and will they come back? Well, bikes are a different story.
His was stolen.
Yeah, mine was stolen. Mine was stolen in my own apartment here. Japan is a big thing about bikes. So if you leave your bike in front of your house, most likely it'll still be there. But you'll once in a while find people taking bikes here.
Even my old bike was stolen at the old place.
Yeah.
Remember the white mini bike?
Yeah, yeah. So even little beat up bikes will get taken.
I didn't look at them.
Yeah.
That's my.
In the metropolitan city, theft may happen, but it's still rare. Yeah, we're in the metropolitan city, and yeah, we consider Fukuoka metropolitan. So yeah, you'll find little minute things like that will happen, but not as much is the main part of the city. So again, I can go to the store and leave my car running, and don't have problems with that. So yeah, but I want to thank everybody for getting online with me. As I said before, I wanted to release this video, but I felt reluctant that I shouldn't. I wanted to talk about this Abe thing and let people know here in Japan we're still trying to deal with it. But again, yeah, I want to say thank you for you guys' support and questions. And I will be releasing another video, hopefully maybe tomorrow or Monday. If this is the first time you guys have hit my channel, Please hit the like button and subscribe. And we hope to hear from you guys again. If there's any other comments, send me a comment, send me a shout out. You guys take care and see you guys again. But you're gonna say bye-bye. Come here. Get over here. Where you going? All right. So see you guys. Bye-bye.